channel Snack. Hi, thank you for interview for me.
Hello.
Now, the first question: which international markets are currently a period for power energy technology global expansion, and what factor influence the strategic decision?
Very good. Thank you for having us. And to explain, we have partner energy and real power who work together, particularly concentrating on the UK market initially, because the UK market is quite open for flexing of electricity, so flexing between battery and the grid in two directions. So we're utilising the advantages that we get from the UK, and obviously then expanding into Western Europe. And we have some interest in some other places, for example, Southeast Asia and the United States. But the key strategic market for us is the UK, because we have this advantage of being able to flex.
This power integrate emerging technology such as artificial intelligence, IoT, or energy storage into its energy solutions portfolio.
So we have to look at the technology, I think, through two key lenses. One is the hardware, one is the software. For us, we source our cells through very high quality cell making in China. And of course, we know that China leads when it comes to particularly cell manufacturing, and particularly the high energy density lithium ion batteries. On the other hand, the other lens we have to look through is the software lens. You mentioned AI, for example. And here we
combine China technology. Cell, because intelligence.
The brain of our system is basically utilizing real power. And two key and important points here. One is, as we know, there's a lot of sensitivity around where data is stored and how data is used. We keep all of our data in the United Kingdom, and obviously all of our software is basically English language source. The second part is the technology, which is basically span out of Oxford University, which allows us to actively balance each of our cells. So rather than the battery management system, BMS, controlling the whole pack, as I'm sure Christoph will explain, the drill technology allows us active balancing cell by cell. So as a result, you can elongate the life of the system. But importantly, the downtime for maintenance is very, very short, because it will actively rebalance. And these two advantages, basically the data security plus the active balance, then using the best technology from China, bringing this together is winning us a lot of contracts, starting with the United Kingdom.
Good. That question for you. What ways in the company contribution to celebration of the global energy transition, and how does this engage with governmental or international institutes or this process?
Right, so it might be worth explaining a little bit what we do at Brill Power to highlight the contribution of the technology to the sector. We've come up with a new way of controlling and managing batteries that Andy alluded to, which is different from how it's been done currently in most battery systems. And it's different because the technology we've created prevents weak spots, weak individual battery cells from limiting the amount of energy you can get out of the battery and from limiting the lifetime of the battery. So we've patented technology which allows us to utilize individual sections of the battery in proportion to their health. That's the real trick, and that's what enables us to improve batteries in a way that they live longer, you can use them more intensively, get more return from them, and they become more reliable as well, because if an element goes down, the rest of the system remains operational. So with that in mind, we're able to make a real change, a step change improvement to energy storage systems, such as the Palmer technology systems, such that they can issue longer warranties. You can go, say, from industry standard of 10 years or 8 or 10 years, you can go to 20 or more years. And you can now match up the lifetime of batteries with the lifetime of solar projects, for example, which currently aren't on par, but you need a lot of storage to complement all the renewable energy generation that's installed. So we reckon that's a major contribution to the field of battery storage and renewables in general, to make that more feasible, both financially but also environmentally, because you need fewer batteries for the same purpose. That batteries have a big environmental footprint, so you want to minimize the use. And that, in terms of how that helps government initiatives and targets, how we tie that in, we're a university spin-out, so we're naturally close to nationally funded projects, and we've benefited a lot in the UK especially from funding that goes into these projects and from collaborations as well with nationally funded institutes like Oxford University. So we continue to build on these relationships and take the technology now beyond those institutions in the UK and abroad as well.
What are the main regulatory and logistic challenges farmers face with operation in different countries, and how has the company addressed the obstacles?
Right, so I'll jump on that. There's many regulatory challenges around batteries. Probably don't have enough time to talk about all of them, but a few common ones I would highlight would be, one, are certification and standards. Obviously, as you can imagine, that is an important aspect. Batteries need to be managed carefully, or else they can cause safety issues. So there's increasing amounts of standards and regulations shaping up in different regions of the world, in Europe, in the US, in China, and Australia. So making sure to comply with all the regional standards is a challenge, and that's where you need strong partners. Brill Power on its own, as a creator of components, it would be difficult for us to make components compatible in all these regions. That's why working with Palmer Energy is who ultimately gets the system certified is important as a technology provider. So you have to ensure that jointly you get the right regulatory compliance. Another very interesting and topical challenge in regulation, I would say, is cybersecurity. And that is increasingly becoming a challenge where cybersecurity requirements are very high in Western markets, but the main battery supplies come out of China, come out of the Asian region. So it's a source of potential conflict or mismatch in requirements. But that's why that's where we can help a bit at Brill, by creating software that's entirely designed in the UK to UK standards that can then be paired up with high quality but lower cost hardware without causing any cybersecurity issues, and therefore better addressing Western markets.
Thank you. Interview for me for EnergyChannel is next.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for having us.